Ladies and gentlemen, today is the day. Brawl Talk has finally aired, and I am presently surprised on all the juicy content coming. We got the newest legendary brawler, Amber, with a brand new mechanic with her basic attack that I cannot wait to get into. We have a bunch of new skins, True Gold, True Silver, some Supercell make skins, finally making an appearance in the game, and a Rosa skin. And the Rosa skin is amazing. We have a new environment, Graveyard Shift coming back to the game, another fun and exciting challenge where you can get the new Rosa skin absolutely free, 10 more second gadgets coming around the corner, and an in-game map maker. There is so much stuff in this update, and I cannot wait to break it all down with you all today. Let's get straight away into it. Here we go! Alright everyone, so we ain't messing around whatsoever in today's video. I first want to start off with a brand new legendary brawler coming to the game in this update, and that is Amber. She is indeed going to be fitting into the Mexican trio along with Primo and Poco, rounding out that family group of 3. So Amber is going to be introducing a brand new fresh mechanic here into Brawl Stars that I think is going to be insanely fun and pretty dang good. So it's with her basic attack, and I'm sure you all know this by now. I hope you do. How ammo normally works here in the game. Most brawlers have 3 shots, some have 4. You use your trigger button, you waste one of those shots, and you slowly wait for it to come back. But with Amber here, you have one full orange bar. If you hold down the trigger button, it slowly depletes the orange bar, but you have this constant barrage of flames dealing consistent chip damage. I should say a lot of consistent chip damage. So it appears Amber is dealing 336 damage around every single half second. It's super hard to gauge because with normal brawlers being released, you can gauge it per basic attack, right? How much ammo you're dealing, where Amber you kind of have to guesstimate. But what you can see on your screen, she is dealing a ton of damage, melting through brawlers that she shoots at. Now, as for the reload speed, I think it's somewhat deceptive. It seems super slow, but I think it appears that way because it is just one big ammo bar, right? And with the damage that Amber is applying per second, I think you can really get by with only a small amount of ammo, but it might be in your best interest to not just spam out all of your ammo at once, right? So next, moving along to her super, which I think is actually going to be fairly decent here inside of the game utility-wise. What she does is she throws out a jar of oil that explodes on the ground and stays there for a duration of time, but then once you shoot your basic attack at it, it ignites and deals damage to whatever's inside of it, but burns up fairly quickly. Now we have a lot of important questions left unanswered about the super. Number one, we really don't know how long the oil is going to last without you burning it up, right? Because that in and of itself has a ton of utility for crowd control in the game modes that you're playing Amber in. If you have that puddle of oil on the ground, the enemy team is more than likely going to avoid it if you're in the vicinity, so it really helps you have lane control in a lot of different ways. It's also incredibly hard to see how much damage it is dealing with the gameplay they provided in the Brawl Talk. We have a bow kind of going in on the penny as soon as Amber ignites the oil, but in general it doesn't look like it does a whole lot if it did deal damage to the penny. So from what I'm seeing from the gameplay, I think the most useful thing about this super is the utility for crowd control, as well as I could see it being really good for taking down immovable objects, right? So like the high save or the IKE. And when it comes to the star powers and gadgets, it's really hard to say from the gameplay as well. There's nothing really screaming to me like a gadget activation or a star power worthy mechanic that is shown from the gameplay. I think the dev team does that on purpose, so it's a little bit of a mystery. They don't just give the whole kind of kit of the new brawler within the Brawl Talk, which is fun. I like not knowing every single mechanic. It's more of a fun surprise once the actual new brawler is released or sneak peeks come around. But yeah, that's basically all that we can tell from the Brawl Talk about the newest brawler, Amber. She seems really fun. She's not super tanky or anything like that as well, sitting at 4,620 HP. So I would say if you're taking a look at the middle of the pack, she's a tiny bit lower than the middle of the pack, but still relatively healthy. Either way, she seems super fun, and I cannot wait to try her out. So next, moving along to the skins, and we're getting a ton of them, and one in particular is incredibly exciting that you guys can get for free, and that's the Rosa skin. But first things first, we're finally getting some Supercell make skins being implemented into the game with Underworld Bow as well as Zombie. Now when it comes to the animations, it appears that Underworld Bow is like cracking the ground with his basic attacks when the arrows explode, as well as for Zombie, when she swings her bat, there's like a crack in the ground as well underneath her, and her bubble is like a floating skull. It's It's so freaking cool. These skins are phenomenal. Also, as Danny points out about the Supercell make skins, is they aren't seasonal, though they appear to be, right? They fit right into the Halloween vibe, but the cool thing about that is that you'll be able to purchase them year round, so you don't have to wait for another Halloween update around the corner. So if those skins are OP to you and you're smarter with your gem spending than your boy Ray, it might be in your best interest just to wait for a while. Maybe they'll go on sale later on down the road or things along those lines. And we're also getting new True Gold and True Silver skins, which we kind of expected to come in this update, but the brawlers getting them are actually pretty dang cool. We're getting them for Bull, Barley, Rico, Mortis, and Frank. And for the other gem-based skins here coming, we have Challenger Colt, which, oh baby, I'm a huge fan of, guys. I love Colt, so any skin is a win in my book, though he has a ton of them. And if you purchase the Colt skins, it's going to be going to fund the World Finals, the prize pool, up to $1 million to support the pro players that are competing in that. But saving the best skin for last, and the one that you can get for free, the skinless brawler for the longest time, and that is Rosa, and she is getting a phenomenal first skin, if you ask me. Her name is Brawl-O-Ween Rosa, and if you ask me, guys, she looks a little bit like Sans, an Undertale character. If you guys been watching my channel here for a while, you'll know I'm a huge fan of Undertale, one of my favorite games of all time. So hey, even though I don't like Rosa a whole lot here in the game, just playing with her, I can dig this skin. This skin is an A+ in your boy Ray's book. It is fantastic. Now, probably one of the coolest things coming in this update is that you can get this Brawl-O-Ween Rosa skin completely free on the Brawl-O-Ween challenge, a new 12-win challenge here coming to Brawl Stars. Guys, I've been missing the 15-win challenge that used to be in Brawl Stars for the longest time, but we're finally getting something new to kind of replace it, and the stakes are high, guys. If you don't complete the challenge, you can't get the skin early. You have to wait for it to come out in shop, as well as if you don't win the challenge, you're not going to get the exclusive emotes that come along with it. So a lot's riding on this challenge when it comes out in game, so do your absolute best to formulate a strategy. Tune into YouTube videos that are explaining the best strategies for each map going into it, because if you lose, you're going to lose a lot of exclusive stuff. So next, getting into other implementations that are coming in the game. The very first one is that we're getting an in-map mechanic, and that is teleporters. So much like jump pads, you get to travel across the map, but this time a teleporter takes you somewhere instantaneously. So I don't know how this is going to play out. I think it's going to be a little bit frustrating to get used to. A really good mobility mechanic, right, for very slow brawlers like a Frank to get behind enemy lines, to pinch with your team from the top and the bottom. I think it's going to be mayhem, so it really depends on what maps they put this in, right? And Graveyard Shift is back in the game, guys. It has been a long time since we've been able to play, a full year been able to play this game mode, so soak it up once it's released once again in this update, because it's a ton of fun and great for trophies with the brawlers that are really good in the game mode, right? Very fast matches. So moving along to the next bit of new content, guys, there's a ton in this update. It really took me by surprise, but I think probably one of the most exciting implementations in this update for me are the 10 new second gadgets coming. So what I can see from the gameplay, it looks like Colt is getting a gadget that gives him 1 extra big bullet that seems to destroy walls, so that's definitely really good for his character. You got Nita getting a new gadget that gives her bear a shield. We're getting Max's second gadget, where it appears once you hit your gadget, you deploy this little power up on the ground that has a lightning bolt on top of it, and I'm thinking it might be a supportive gadget for your teammates to pick up, right? Or maybe yourself, I'm not quite sure, but in the gameplay we don't see the person controlling Max actually picking it up and seeing the benefits of it, but I'm assuming it has something to do with speed, right? BB's also getting one, but I can't really place my finger on it. It kind of looks like the bubble is going through a wall, or maybe the bubble is doing a little bit more damage, but it has something to do with her super, right? Bull is also getting one and appears to be really good. What I see from the gameplay is he supers in, uses his gadget, and stops wherever he uses his gadget, so that in and of itself is really good for Bull. But when he stops, he creates this like crack in the ground where it appears that it stunned the Colt that he went up against there, so that's super good for Bull. But that was it from the Brawl Talk that we were able to see from the second gadgets, so leaving us in the dark on a few of them mystery second gadgets. So let me know in the comments down below if you're really crossing your fingers for a certain brawler to get them and what they might do. But either way, the ones that we saw so far are actually really interesting. And then finally, at the very end of the Brawl Talk, they hit us with one of the biggest implementations here in Brawl Stars that people have been talking about forever now, especially Lex. Lex has been gearing for this implementation for ages, and that is an in-game map maker. It seems so dang cool. The best case scenario, the best case possible outcome for this, because it is a beta version of it, is we can use our own maps or create our own maps and be able to play on them for like custom game modes with your friends, or like fun content ideas, or just creative outlet, you know what I mean? Create some wacky stuff. I think it'd be a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to seeing like a finalized version, not a beta version. So really looking forward to that. I bet you Lex is happy as heck right now. But yeah, everyone, that's basically all that we can expect in the Brawl Talk. I give it an A+. It literally blew away my expectation of what I thought this update would be. I was thinking an update right in the middle of two different seasons would be relatively on the smaller end of things, but they're actually packing this with some new, fresh, and exciting content that I'm really much so looking forward to getting my hands on. Not just the new brawler, but like challenges getting back in the game. We have in-game map makers, which is a crazy addition to Brawl Stars, and a bunch of other things. Really excited for this update. Make sure to let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments down below. Really, the only other thing to take away from the Brawl Talk that's important is to make sure to spend your Season 1 Brawl Pass, because after this update, you're not going to be able to collect them again. It will auto-collect your things. So the auto-collect is nice. What I thought it was in the past was you would just lose the resources, so it appears you'll be able to get it back. So it's not that crazy big of a thing. But yeah, you guys, let me know what you're thinking in the comments. This is going to be an awesome update. Happy Halloween, happy Brawl-O-Ween. If you enjoyed it, be sure to slap a like on it. I'd really appreciate that. Make sure to stay tuned for the sneak peeks around the corner. But with that being said, have a fantastic rest of your day. Keep having fun with Brawl Stars, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace out, everyone.